know if many of you remember this or even were aware, but Grindr, which is a hookup dating app for gay men, crashed during the 2024 Republican National Convention in Milwaukee. Hi, my name is Suri Crowe, and you're watching the MeidasTouch Network. But what's more interesting is that Grindr didn't just crash once during the RNC. It crashed twice. And I bring this up only because it's the MAGA Republican Party that is painting over rainbow crosswalks, kicking trans service members out of our military, canceling rainbow flags, and freaking out about drag queen story hours, none of which I am aware have ever involved a child molester. But at the RNC convention, Grindr goes down 2 times. Many online were reportedly anonymous users, as in new people in town who did not want their identities revealed. You feel me? The fiery Miss Welsh, also known as Jennifer Welch of the I've Had It podcast, which if you're not watching it, you should because it is so damn good, says this story is not getting enough attention in the news cycle. So challenge accepted, Jen. I am covering it.
Tell you what I've had it with. And I mean, I've had it. I've had it with the fact that Grindr crashed twice during the MAGA Donald Trump muffin top Kanks convention. And it just still isn't in the news cycle. This needs to be at the top of the news cycle all day, every day, because I've identified the fundamental problem with this country right now. And if you're in MAGA, you say, the problem is the LGBTQ plus and the flag, and they're cramming it down everybody's throat. That's what they think is a legitimate problem. People being whatever sexuality they are and expressing it accordingly. I say it's deeper than that. I say the problem is the DL LGBTQ plus community. And the DL LGBTQ plus community are all of these MAGA politicians. Let me give you an example. If I didn't know anything about America and I didn't know anything about Donald Trump, Kanks, about his history, and I came here from another planet and I was dropped here and then I started watching footage of Kanks, I would think he was an out of the closet bisexual. He gave a microphone a blowjob. Right. He's drooling. I mean, drooling, talking about the size of Arnold Palmer's cock. And I would think, boy, this guy is not only, I mean, he's super bi, but a total size queen. At his rallies, he's always like, look at this good looking guy. Stand up. Look at the muscles on this guy. Oh, he's a good looking guy. I mean, really excited about men. And then I see the people in the cult so excited about Donald Trump. I think there might be erectile issues with his current state. So they have to Photoshop what they want him to look like, but it's his essence, you know, for pornographic reasons. Right. But I just think, and then we get to Moses Mike Johnson, I think total queen.
Oh,
he's
100%.
He's a DL LGBTQ. When we get to Josh Hawley, DL LGBTQ. When we get to Moses Mike, DL LGBTQ. And then we get to like Ted Cruz and people like that. And I don't know what it is, but I know it's not something that Jesus would approve of.
They are so effing funny. Anyway, but yes, Fox News talks about masculinity issues nonstop. Like they clearly don't cover news. We know that, right? But masculinity, trans athletes, rainbow crosswalks and flags nonstop. Creepy Jesse Waters, who is obsessed with this topic.
Called him daddy and daddy just gave him a spanking. And now they're worried about daddy's mood swings. Daddy hates leaks in the house. The question is, who's daddy going to negotiate with? So did daddy do it or did daddy do it? Trump is politically jacked. Trump golfs. He has dad strength, though. You know dad strength? He doesn't look like he's in shape, but when he grabs you, one time my father grabbed me and I was like, oh my God, this guy's stronger than I am. That doesn't mean I have a homosexual crush on them. I'm just saying I appreciate their acting skills. Very strong heterosexual credentials. Real men don't talk about how they can beat other guys up. They don't talk about how masculine they are. Men don't wave simultaneously with both hands.
No.
We wave with one hand. Primetime would wish him a happy birthday, but we have rules here. Men don't wish men happy birthdays. Men should never cross their legs. What kind of man takes a bubble bath? Stephen Miller, should grown men be taking bubble baths? Men don't wish other men happy birthday. What do you notice? Doug's breaking the rules. He's leaning in, like Barack leans into Michelle. Men should never lean. What kind of husband goes grocery shopping with his wife?
Daddy, daddy, daddy. Daddies, by the way, are what younger men in the gay world often refer to as their older gay male benefactors. Just letting you know. So kind of interesting that Jesse's really hung up on the word daddy when he's referring to Donald Trump. I mean, if I were betting in Vegas, Jesse, I'd probably go with you are dying to come out. Also, as this tweet noted, another day and Jesse Waters is talking about other men's masculinity. This guy needs to come out and say it. I'm Jesse Waters and I'm gay. And here is former Fox star Tucker Carlson on his show going on and off about Pete Buttigieg.
I'll give you a Pete Buttigieg. I don't know Pete Buttigieg.
The fake gay guy?
I have a friend who thinks he's a fake gay. Or is
my gay producer was always like, he's not gay. He was with a girl like 20 minutes ago and like, he wants to be the Democratic nominee. It's like time for a gay guy.
It's playing the long game. I mean, that's going down. Look.
Well, it's suffering for your art. I'll say that.
Just because I don't know him, I know 100 Pete Buttigiegs. I know this character.
Oh, I do too.
And he went to the elite school, and then he goes to McKinsey, and then he does the checks. And I think
then finds some benighted Midwestern town that he can just like become mayor of.
I'm a mayor now. Talk about the great. I was talking to a big Democrat figure, and he said, say what you will about Pete. He's the greatest careerist we've ever seen. You're mayor of this tiny town. You become the Secretary of Transportation.
No, but of course. But the town kind of sucks. Actually, he didn't do a good job. If it didn't have the college. But I've always wanted to interview him. He's never agreed to interview, but I'm going to ask him like some very specific questions about gay sex and see if he can even answer. I doubt he even knows.
I mean, for real, does this sound like something a straight man who isn't dealing with some closet issues would be asking? Seriously? I want to ask Pete Buttigieg some very specific questions about gay sex. Sounds like you're very curious, Tucker, and you want some 411 on what it's like. I mean, seriously, this is just not a conversation or a topic that you are going to hear somebody like Chris Hayes or Michael Steele bring up on MSNBC. So that's what I'm saying. This to me is very like telling about these guys. And with MAGA, they are either accusing straight men of being gay or gay men of being straight, but they are always talking about it, preaching against it and making laws against it. And as I say all the time here, every accusation is a confession with them. MAGA is the cult of the cover-up. The Daily Mail, which I admit is not a paragon of journalistic virtue, but they do find dirt on people, recently ran a series on top DC Republicans who are living double lives. The Mail reports that secretive sex workers, many of them transgender, are being paid thousands of dollars for late night trysts with the very same Republicans in Congress or on the Hill who publicly rail against the LGBTQ community. This is from one of those sex workers who said they absolutely demonize us in public, but use us behind closed doors, said one of the women who advertises herself online as a 1,000 per hour curvy blonde trans girl and has tens of thousands of followers on X and OnlyFans. She says, this is a story that needs to be told. Well, I'm telling it, girlfriend. Another gay sex worker told the Mail that he's been in a 2-year relationship with a congressman from the Midwest who has had several serious girlfriends and who recently became engaged to a woman. He said, quote, it's gotten difficult to ignore the dissonance between the man I know in private and the votes he casts publicly. And he went on to say in the article that this in the closet congressman has paid for the full boyfriend experience for candlelight dinners and intimate chats, as well as the whole, sex part. Well, of course, it's a cognitive dissonance between what they're doing in private and saying and legislating in public, because these people are liars. They're absolute hypocrites. That is the bottom line. And whether it's the evangelical shame and fanaticism, which, trust me, I know from experience, can do a number on us, and or a refusal to go get therapy, which I strongly recommend for these MAGA men and women. They are taking out their dysfunctions on the people who are brave enough to live out loud, like a Pete Buttigieg, kicking trans people out of the military, talking about the handful of trans athletes in the NCAA sports world, when nearly 50,000 people a year die from gun violence in this country, when millions and millions of us are about to lose all access to healthcare, including, by the way, Medicare. Remember when Donald Trump said he promised not to touch Medicare? Oh, they're touching it all right. They're going to do away with access to that as well. But Republicans, of course, will not solve that. No, they're too busy attacking drag queens and rainbow sidewalks, and in the night hours dialing up trans sex workers for a booty call. Recently, unhinged conspiracy theorist and outright racist Laura Loomer outed Senator Lindsey Graham under oath in court. She said, "I called him gay." It's well known. Several of President Trump's staff have told me in confidence that Lindsey Graham is gay. Further, she said, a number of people in Republican circles told me they've attended dinners where he's brought male significant others with him, like significant others. Okay, we get it, Laura. And I mean, it's not exactly breaking news to me that Lindsey Graham is gay. I mean, hello. It's very obvious. I just wish he would come on out of the closet, but apparently he's stuffed in there with a lot of other MAGA men. Moses Mike Johnson has a very tricky living arrangement in DC. According to ProPublica, he rooms with an evangelical preacher who is also anti-gay, wink, wink, and a third male roommate. And you got to hear Jen Welch's take on this one.
And the fact that these people are being that duplicitous. I'm going to be a pious, moral high ground, hypocritical prick during the day. And at night, I'm going to be a power bottom. I've had it. I have absolutely had it, because you know, just by matter of statistics, that if Grindr crashed twice, we're talking about a lot of DL LGBTQ pluses in attendance at the MaxiPad convention.
100%.
Okay. And then also by statistic, and no judgment if you're a top or a bottom, do what you want. I'm a liberal. I don't want to be involved in your bedroom, but I do want to be involved in the DL LGBTQ pluses private lives, because they want to get in everybody else's private lives. So at that point, I want to know, Mike Johnson, are you a power bottom? I want to know.
He strikes me as a power bottom.
I want to know why you are so consumed with this. And I further want to know why your roommate in Washington, D.C. currently is an evangelical preacher who's connected to another Nashville-based investor that has gay sex, and that Moses Mike Johnson's roommate answers the door when Mike gets home from work in his panties. And
okay. Oh my God, they're so freaking funny. Well, here you go, Mike. I found these t-shirts for you. You can still love Jesus and be a power bottom. Jesus does not hate gay people. It's okay. He's cool with you being a power bottom or whatever you want to be. We on the left do not care if you are gay, bi, or trans. As long as you are an adult and it is consensual sex and you leave children and animals out of it, go to town. But MAGA world won't shut up about it. And they hurt people with their rhetoric and their laws against marginalized groups. And it is just their absolute hypocrisy that disgusts people like me and the girls on the I've Had It podcast. So we are going to keep calling them out for their abject hypocrisy. Again, MAGA is the cult of the cover-up. Epstein much? That's all I got for you guys today. I will see you back here soon. Remember to remain fierce and peace out.
Love this video? Support independent media and unlock exclusive content, ad-free videos, and custom emojis by becoming a paid member of our YouTube channel today. You can also gift memberships to others. Let's keep growing together.